While gladiators fought to the death in front of baying crowds, Commodus started to execute some of Rome's most important citizens. And soon watching men die in the arena wouldn't be enough for him. He wanted to enter the ring and slay them himself.
Lucilla is exiled first of all to the Isle of Capri.
Lucilla's exile didn't last long. Once she was out of sight, Commodus had her killed. But the plot seemed to push Commodus over the edge into paranoia. It was now that Commodus started to turn into the power-crazed emperor history would remember. Hidden away in his villa, he could do what he liked, for now. The villa offered every luxury, but also concealed dark secrets. It's rumoured after Lucilla's death that he slept with his other 3 sisters. Everything Commodus did was out of control. There was no one to stop him. Right here in his luxury dining room, Commodus would play revolting practical jokes on his guests.
This appears to be a magnificent round dining room area to be used specifically in the summer.
There are wild stories of him inviting people to dinner and mixing in human excrement with the food and making them eat it to see the reaction. And eating some of it himself to sort of lure them into a false sense of security and make them, and thinking this is a great joke. So there is a sense of someone who is looking for thrills.
While the Roman Senate were getting worried about Commodus's bad behavior, the emperor put on more and more games. Games that lasted 117 days, brutal games. Games with more blood and more death than ever before. There's nothing in the modern world quite like the ancient Roman games. In the very heart of Rome, at the vast 80,000-seater Colosseum, a crowd would gather to watch gladiators fight to the death. Commodus wasn't satisfied with knowing he was a great fighter in private. He wanted to be a gladiator in front of all the people of Rome, but of course he wouldn't just be a normal gladiator.
To have the emperor himself go into the arena as a gladiator, it's totally unheard of. They say that people came flocking to the Colosseum. I want to see this from my own eyes.
But it wouldn't take long for the crowd to discover his fights were fixed. Just like in the movie, Commodus handicapped his opponent, making sure their weapons were useless. It was a fatal insult to the moral code of the arena.
Commodus has real weapons. He's fully prepared. You know, his sword has the sharpest edge that anyone can put on it. His opponent has a blunt weapon. Maybe it's made of lead, maybe it's tipped with lead, maybe it just has a sort of button on the end of the sword so the point won't work. It probably isn't sharpened at all. So his opponent can't really do anything back.
In the film, there is barely a reaction to the idea of Commodus fighting in the arena. In reality, this was a shocking break with every social taboo in the Roman world, and people were beginning to question his reign as emperor.
The Emperor Commodus stands out as really quite unusual in his obsession with gladiatorial games. Taking part was a bit of a no-no. Commodus's role as a gladiator fundamentally weakened his position.
In the movie, Commodus died in the arena, but the real gladiator emperor would meet a far more humiliating fate.